Prologue. Two children run through a forest of spruce trees with dark green needles so thick that the trees themselves could not be seen. The two boys were close in age, only separated by a year. Wild grass, dead pine needles, and pine cones littered the ground, crunching underneath as they made their way through. "Come on, Jonathan, keep up!" "You still haven't told me where we're going," Jonathan called after him. The other boy jumped over a moss-covered log and then replied, "Nor will I until we get there." They ran for a while longer until the lead child stopped, hands on knees to catch his breath. "Okay, I need to catch my breath." Jonathan smirked. "Where to go, Galta?" Galta gave him a baleful look. "Smart Alec. You may have run track, but at least I don't have to diet all the time." Jonathan grimaced at that. "How much farther is it anyway?" "Not far, just up this rise." The ground went up a steep angle. Not too steep to climb without equipment, but not a comfortable hike. After some rest, the boys climbed to the top. The area was perfectly flat, the trees suddenly becoming very close together, making it hard to see more than 10 feet. "What's with the trees?" Jonathan asked. "They were more spread out on the way here." "Hell if I know," Galta replied. "Found this place while I was tracking a deer." Sunlight filtered through as they emerged into a mossy glade. Upon emerging, they startled a deer which ran into the cover of the trees. On all sides, the trees grew so close that they created a dense wall of wood. In the middle of the glade lay a pond with wild flowers dotting the sides. Jonathan stared, mouth agape. It looked like something from a fairy tale. "Wow, this is awesome." Galta casually looked around the cleared ground. "I found it a few years back. Used it as a place to swim during the summer. Bit far from home, but my dad knows I'll be careful." "Is Uncle Magnus expecting us back soon?" Galta grinned. "Thinking of trying it out. After that long hike you took me on, it'd feel nice." Galta began to take off his shoes. "Then let us try it out." Both boys wore shorts. These they left on while they removed socks, shoes, and shirts. Piling them in a heap, they counted to 3 and ran for the pond. Both leapt high in the air, tucking their legs with their arms around them. "Cannonball!" With a splash, they descended into the pond. A strange sensation came over Jonathan. The water had been cool, but now it was warm. He came to the surface laughing, but when he looked, he realized Galta had not emerged. "Galta?" Then he looked around in shock at his surroundings. The trees had changed. Now oaks and poplars took over the forest. The wall of trees that had been there before was gone. The tree branches grew so densely that no light from above came through, but strange glowing mushrooms of purple, blue, and yellow colors grew on the trees and ground. Scared and alone, Jonathan stood dripping from the pond. It looked exactly like the pond he had jumped into moments before. "Awakrayib!" Jonathan twisted around, but he couldn't find the source of the voice. "Hello?" he called out. The forest seemed to swallow his voice. The voice called again, but this time the words were clear to him. "Do you only speak English? I said, who are you? Now I expect an answer." Jonathan became increasingly nervous. "Who said that?" "I did," the voice called again. "But I'd rather you answer my questions. Who are you?" A squirrel jumped onto a tree stump in front of Jonathan, startling him. The squirrel sat back, its front legs crossed. "Well, what say you?" How are you speaking?" "Did you crack your head? Like any normal person. My patience is wearing thin. Who are you?" Jonathan Moen," he finally managed to stammer. "Interesting," the squirrel said thoughtfully. "Not many earthland names in these parts. Probably explains the ability to speak English. Anyway, why are you here? This is a restricted zone." "I didn't know. I went to go swimming with my cousin, but he disappeared and everything looks different now." The squirrel cocked its head to the side in disbelief. "Wait, are you saying you are from Earth?" Jonathan was now thoroughly confused. "From? We are on Earth. And how is a squirrel talking?" "Don't lie to me," it shot back. "If you were from Earth, then your pupils would be—" The squirrel trailed off, looking deep into Jonathan's eyes. "You aren't lying. Your pupils are round." "Yes?" I do apologize. A talking squirrel must be terribly confusing for you. One moment. A blue haze engulfed the squirrel. Moments later, a man in brown robes appeared before Jonathan. His eyes slitted like a cat's. He gave a quick bow. Hello, Jonathan. My name is Hasek. How are... Before he could finish his sentence, Jonathan passed out. You,